What's going on, guys? Ness here, and this is probably the third video I'm doing on the Reto Arcade RS07, but there's just so much cool shit for this thing. I can't stop talking about this thing. So what I have in front of me today is yet another custom firmware. This one is called PyMenu, PyMenu, and with this custom firmware, this thing is like a must own. Seriously, if you're on the fence on buying one of these, or you watched a couple of videos and you're like, oh, that seems pretty cool, if only it was a little better, this custom firmware, in my opinion, is the best of the lot and is awesome on this device. As you can see, it's themed pretty much after Emulation Station or Retropie or what have you. The menu is very similar, very easy to navigate, and just neat, clean, and organized. It adds a ton more emulators to this already jam-packed console, and it's as simple as dragging and dropping your ROMs into the FAT32 partition of your SD card that's on this device. If you guys are interested on how to install this custom firmware, you pretty much follow the exact same instructions I had for the last custom firmware video I did. I'll put a link to that one in the description below. In my opinion, PyMenu makes everything run silky smooth, and it's much better than the original operating system that came with this device. But enough of my yapping, let's see how it can handle some of the more high-end games this thing is capable of playing. Here I am rocking Garu Mark of the Wolves. I know when I first got this thing I showcased this game, but it actually runs much better on PyMenu, so that's why I'm showing it again. In order to exit a game, you bring up this neat little sub menu, and it gives you an option to have your save states and load states and all that good stuff. Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter running like a top on this neat little arcade, man. This is really awesome. Here I am playing Mega Man X3, one of my favorite Mega Man X titles, and not having any issues on the Reto Arcade RS07 with PyMenu installed. Sonic Triple Trouble for the Sega Game Gear, one of the more underrated Sonic the Hedgehog video games. The Castlevania Adventure for the original Game Boy, another awesome title. Have any of you guys ever played the remake that came out for the Wii Virtual Console? That was a really badass remake. So the Reto Arcade RS07 with the PyMenu custom firmware. There's not much more I could say, man. This thing is freaking awesome. PyMenu is as perfect of a custom firmware as it can get, and if you own one of these things, definitely upgrade to this. And if you haven't bought one of these, I highly suggest you do. I'll put a link to the RS07 as well as a link to the PyMenu image file in the description below. Until next time, this is Ness, signing out.